The Outer Wilds was my third game in the 12 Days of Hey Jay that I played, and I usually don't like first-person perspective games, but this one, I really need to play to the end.
Hey Jay Review.
Welcome back, Classic Crew, to another Hey Jay Review, where I talk about my first, actually it's more of a first impression than a review. I played 4 hours of The Outer Wilds, which is just enough to make me go, what is going on with this game? And if you are like me and knew nothing at all about The Outer Wilds, I was actually getting it confused with The Outer Worlds, which I think is a game that came around at the same time, which is an entirely different game, which I also haven't played and don't know much about. The Outer Wilds is an exploration game. So the game starts and you really don't know what is going on. You wake up and you learn that you're pretty much like some alien astronaut, living on, and it's your day to go to space for the first time. And you also, there's going to be spoilers here, so if this is something you want to experience for yourself, I will let's get all the basic stuff. It's a game about exploration. You get a spaceship, you go around space, and you got to piece together why something happens. That is the spoiler-free version of what is Outer Wilds, and it's interesting enough to make me want to play it to the end. So that is the very short form version. Now, if you don't mind spoilers and you want to hear more of my thoughts, let's continue. If you want to keep this experience fresh for yourself, this is probably the best place to click off. So yeah, so we're in a village that seems to be all about astronauts, space exploration. Everyone talks about it like it's a coming of age thing. And while I'm exploring, I'm kind of like, this is the usual like first person stuff. You talk to people, you walk around, you try to play with things. And these are not things I really enjoy in my video game experiences. So I was getting worried in the early parts where I was like, am I really gonna like this game? Like this isn't heading in a good direction. I was building no connection with the alien race. I wasn't enjoying anything about the village. And then on the way back from getting the launch code, this statue looks at me and a bunch of random stuff happens. That is the first point in this game where I go, okay, why did that happen? And that is kind of what sets everything up. And so then I'm like, all right, so we go into space and I learned that this is all about space physics. I learned very quick that momentum is very important in this game. As I propelled myself towards a planet and as it was coming into view, it's not that you can dial back your speed. Well, yeah, you dial back your speed, but you still have the momentum. So you have to dial back your speed, and then you have to go into negative thrust to tone down your momentum. Anyways, I pretty much hurled my way into the planet and crash landed onto the ocean planet, which was filled with massive tornadoes. Now, if there's one thing I'm probably terrified of, it's tornadoes, which is wild because I've never seen one in my life. But I grew up in what they call Tornado Alley in Canada, and honestly, I grew up with tornado warnings like all throughout summer, all the time on TV, people saying tornadoes are coming. It was like the boogeyman, but they happen somewhere. I just never saw one. So I grew up with this fear of a tornado is going to kill me or take away my house and everything that I care about. So the Outer Wilds, creepy stuff with tornadoes. And still I'm like exploring things. I have this translator that like translates languages, which is really cool, by the way. I like how they show language on a wall. And it's like circular stuff, and it looks like it's a thread people are adding notes to, like replying to comments. And I really like that. Now, I'm learning at this point that there's like, there's an alien race that used to be around this galaxy, and they're no longer there. So I was like, all right, that's the first thing. They built the statue, which piqued my curiosity. Then I learned that they were building this like space thing to seek out the eye of the universe or something is what they're looking for. And there was some disagreements between that alien race of how much power they should use. And some engineers were like, we got to tone it down because those people are going to like blow it up. Anyways, we don't really know what happened, but they sent this like space like telescope probe into space. And all we know is it broke into 3 pieces. So curiosity mildly piqued, but at this point, I'm just kind of trying to grasp the mechanics of just moving around in my spaceship, moving around. What is it? Okay, we have planets. How big are these planets? What do we have to explore? And then I think I made it to another planet where it was sand moves from one planet to another like an hourglass, which was a really cool concept I had never seen in like sci-fi before. I love it. And that's the first point where the sun exploded for me and it sent me back to the starting point of the game. And that's kind of the main mechanic of this game. And that is the second true curiosity of like, why did that happen? Oh, oh, okay, now this is the theme. We have to figure out what happened and stop the sun from blowing up. So now I'm like, okay, let's go back in the ship. Let's start figuring stuff out. And now I just like randomly, I think I explored more of the planet that I was on and see if I could fly to another place. And I found that there's a seed that landed on the planet. And within that seed, we saw like a fish with the light thing, which that was scary. And then I just started exploring. And the more I explored, the more I started connecting pieces. So I found like mentions of the alien race that were, they're all over, like there's stuff scattered all around the planets. They were trying to figure something out about the center of the universe or something. And there's something in this galaxy that they were trying to figure out. And I haven't progressed enough to understand what it is, but I know that there is warp technology. I know that they crash landed on the hourglass planet, and exploring that was interesting because you can only explore one planet early on before the sun blows up, and the other one you can only explore it just before the sun blows up. So by the end of my first stream, I have no idea what is going on in this galaxy. I'm starting to piece it together, and I think what's really motivating me is the fact that the more I scan things, the more I get lore pieces on my map thing that keeps track of all your lore. And I love that that carries over even though the sun blows up. And I'm learning that these statues were built on a certain planet by an architect, and they're storing memories. So I'm like, okay, this is starting to connect to maybe the fact that I keep waking up after the sun explodes, and my main character remembers all of his experiences, and that transfers over. So I just need to play it more. Like, this is a game that would not really be my style usually, but the mystery that they've set up and how I have to explore and scan things to learn more, I really like that. So this is a game I'm probably not going to 100% it. All I want to understand is, why is the sun blowing up? Who's this alien race? Why is what's happening? And I don't know how long this game is, but I don't think it's like ridiculously long. So it's a game I want to play to the end. I want to roll credits on it. Because yeah, I'm just so curious. So if this is a game you're interested in, I will be releasing probably one more video on this one. This is one of the games we will be doing into 2022. Not sure if I will be completing this on stream, simply because my stream schedule is unknown and I have so many games I need to like finish in 2022. This is just one that I feel I could easily knock off when I have some free time on my own. So thank you for everyone who recommended The Outer Wilds. It's a really interesting game, and I can't recommend it yet because if the payoff is not good, that can make or break this game. So that's why I have to play it to the end to really understand if this is something I can recommend to people. So I'll see you in the next video of My Outer Wilds, or maybe another video here on this channel. And until next time, keep it classy. Do 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 do. Subscribe.